Hey y'all, welcome back to the Ask Me About podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Joe. How's it going, guys?
And this week we are interviewing Joe about running.
Right.
He has no idea. I
only just figured out a few seconds ago when she said, all right, get a thumbnail, look like you're running. So I with my great detective skills, I figured it was going to be about running.
Yeah, I only came up with the idea about 30 minutes ago. So let's go. So Joe, when did you start running?
So I think I've been active my whole life, so I probably have been running about my whole life, but I really got serious about it, started getting serious about it when I was training for the Peachtree Road Race, which has been a staple of growing up and of our family for probably over 40 years.
We're not that old.
We are not that old.
But our dad has been running it for over 40 years. So.
Yeah, 40 years in a row, actually.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. Until
last year.
Yeah. So that's why I started training for it. That's when I got serious about it. So I'll kind of start it then. So.
When was that?
My first one was when I was 13.
Okay.
So that'd be 2011.
Yeah.
So right now I'm 23, so 10 years of running. Yeah, that's when I started.
Yeah, so what's your favorite running memory?
Oh, man. What kind of running? Like, there's sprinting.
Okay,
I have a little bit of history with sprinting.
Yeah, you do, but we're not going to cover that. This is just regular rate. Like
steady state, long distance.
Yeah, we're not going to cover sprinting. That's a whole nother topic.
That's true.
And entirely different. But all right, we'll do two types of categories. What is your favorite memory and least favorite memory of just running, just on the road, training, whatever? And then what is your favorite and least favorite race memory?
Okay, so training on the road running. I think my favorite memory. That's a tough one. Because there's a lot, for, most of your running history will be training. So I'm guessing my favorite would have to be when I was at night on snow. My dad yelling at me, in the truck. So this restaurant I was working at. What? Anyway, so.
You are the worst Chris Evans.
That's okay. Anyway, so
you're terrible at being able to. You would not be a good actor.
I know.
You would not.
So my favorite memory, training, is running back from this restaurant I worked at. It was middle winter. It was snow everywhere. It was at night because it just got off work. It was probably about 9 p.m. And I was like. I could call my dad to come pick me up because it's only like 2 miles away. But I was like, why not I just run back, Because I know I can do 2 miles and, it would be pretty
dope.
Satisfying, pretty dope. So I did. And then Dad...
got worried, I think.
Yeah.
And came
because normally I would call or text him, I'm done. He can come pick me up. And... So then he's drawn up there, and then he sees me, and he, I guess, turns around. He's yelling at me, get in the truck. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. And bear in mind, I'm wearing, not running shoes or running apparel.
Jeans.
Greasy jeans from just
it's a greasy
small town, greasy spoon, grill.
Kitchen worker, cleaning up, all the...
I was always a kitchen worker.
Yeah.
I wasn't good looking to work in the front. But anyways, that restaurant, most of the women worked, bussing tables.
Yeah.
But anyways,
neither here nor there.
So that was my favorite training memory. My worst one?
I think you could probably think of some pretty... more worse ones than best ones.
Yeah.
You either have average. There's a very few.
Most of them are average.
Very few positive ones. That sounds terrible. From my running experience, I had a couple that were positive that I remember. Most average, and then there's some terrible ones. So I'm sure that's the same for you.
Yeah. So of course, being average, most of them are average. But the worst
I think
one,
even the most elite Joe have mostly average runs.
That's true.
I don't think they have
Yeah.
too many. They're like, wow, that was fantastic.
That's true.
That's the point of training is
Yeah.
none of them are really like spectacular.
You're just trying to improve.
Yeah.
So, man, my worst one. I really can't think of them because they're all just mostly average.
Well.
You know, you just kind of get used to the suckiness.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess can't think of the particular time or date, but I guess the worst one would have to be, you know, where everything is going wrong. You know, you're I'm sure there have been ones where I'm chafing, cramping, you know, rashes are forming, blisters are forming, you know, and I can go on in more detail, but we will keep those on the down
graphic
low.
details.
Yeah, because it does get graphic. You know, with running, it's just you experience everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good and bad of training.
All right, let's move on to races. Which is your good and bad of races?
Ooh. Now this is different because, you know, races
They do have some significant like highs and lows.
vary. They can either be really good or really bad. And actually there's, you know, you can pick them out, you know, you can remember them better.
Yeah.
So
Well, and there's also fewer of them, so like, you know, sweetie, hi.
So my best race would probably, there's actually quite a few of them, and they're good in different ways. So probably when I won the 10K overall.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And at this local race that's held at church, I partner with a lot for mission trips. It's a fundraiser actually for that mission trip, among other things. And I was at the head of the pack the whole race, which just winning it overall is impressive, but leading the pack the whole way is even more impressive, I think. So that had to be one of my best
No, sir.
memories. You want me to go on, or I could probably find more?
Yeah, whatever.
So I guess I could probably think of one more. Now, bear in mind, I also, on the same race, they had a 5K, a 10K, and a fun run. I also won the 5K overall as well.
That a separate year.
A separate year.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Not the same year.
You can't use your 10K time to say that you won the 5K.
Yeah.
That doesn't work like that.
No.
Yeah, separate years. Yeah. One of mine was at Peachtree where you know, we were sitting at the coffee shop waiting for him, and then like he finished like way before we thought he was going to be done.
Yeah, that was a
cool.
pretty good memory because
It was better for us not racing because we were having to talk to somebody we didn't want to talk to. We didn't really seem to have an out, so he showed up and gave us an out. So.
yeah, that's right.
So it was probably less impressive to him than to us, but we were quite relieved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my worst memory, I guess, would have to be for racing. Yeah, worst memory.
Would it be when you the 30K?
No, that was a good memory because I finished.
Well, yeah, but you cramped pretty bad.
Oh yeah, bad cramps. But I mean, that's just part of it
I
sometimes.
don't think I had too many terrible race memories, though. Aside from that,
probably just the Boiling Spring 5Ks. Those are always
the
bad.
Turkey trot. We'll say
Turkey trot. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
one.
another in-state local race.
Yeah.
5K that we run.
Infrequently,
the turkey
because we're
trot.
not overly fond of it.
2 times, 3 times.
I think you've done it. Have you done it? No, I think we've only done it twice.
Yeah.
Unless you did it once without us.
At least twice.
Yeah.
We've run it. Both times have been bad. The registration was awful.
Yeah, they got
both times.
all the information wrong.
And it might and it's probably a fault of my own, but always just feels like it just 2 minutes slower than I really am. You
Well,
know?
see,
it's, like,
it's not you because like I think because I used to run a lot and like because we would do the one race a few weeks prior, we would do great, and then we would do that one, and it was awful.
Awful.
And like there wasn't much of a gap where our training lagged. Our training was the same, if not better, because we had a few weeks extra to train for this one, and it was still awful. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was you. I think it was just
Yeah.
the course was terrible. Also, you would get stuck behind people who weren't motivated to move.
That's true.
And so they would just walk, and you would have to do the half mile of weaving in and out of a bunch of
Yeah.
walkers who are going 5-6 abreast. And so you have a lot of people who are walking, you know, like as groups really wide and taking up the
Yeah.
road, and you have to go around them, and it's incredibly frustrating, and it really messes up your time.
8 times out of 10, they're all wearing fanny packs.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, and with most races, the start is really where the key.
Yeah.
If
You
you're at the front at
literally
the
set
start,
the pace.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking over
You'll-
your interview.
That's fine. But like,
Look at me. I'm
we-
the interviewee now.
we both have run mini races. Similar history. But anyways, so start is like where everybody is, and you're trying to get your spot, trying to get your speed, find people, you know, who get
Have
where
a
they need
similar
to be,
pace.
you know,
Yeah.
get a similar pace. So it takes a while, and it's such a pain. So I highly recommend you start at the front, or
If you think you are worth, like, if
Yeah.
you're fast enough to set up.
or at least try, you know, it'd be nice if people could just like kind of figure out where they need to be, but it's tough to do. So
Yeah.
anyways,
But if you're gonna walk it or walk it.
get to back. I mean, if you know.
Sorry, I mean, because I am the run walker,
But
but
just
I'm
be
not.
honest.
I'm not gonna be
I mean,
sitting
there's
up
no
in the front.
shame in going to the
No,
back.
but like,
But-
please don't do that, because I know as a
Yeah.
run walker and as a runner, it's incredibly frustrating
It is.
to either be in the way or have people in the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So just do everybody a favor and go to the back.
Yeah.
Also, please don't bring your dogs to races, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, okay, so that's your best and your worst of both regular running and racing. How has your training evolved over the years?
So basically, just more consistency. So I found, especially in this past year, that the more consistent you are, and the more time you put forward, the more it'll pay off. Because really, most of it is training.
Yeah.
And the more you train, the better you are, because you're practicing your form. And even though, you know, you may not be getting super, faster, your form is improving, and also with that, your health improves, so you can train more.
Yeah.
And so, what was the question again?
How has your training
Oh,
evolved?
okay. And well, I know what, I just want to share if you said training or something else. But anyways, and also, that's probably about it. Like,
Just more consistently?
yeah, more consistency, and also more distance, you know, as well. And that goes along with, more training. You know, you'll automatically get more distance, pretty much. And I highly recommend that for everybody else who's running, just to increase it a little bit more. You know, run, if you run, I guess, like a long run, 1 day a week, I think it would actually benefit you a lot to run, the same amount of distance, but over the course of 4 days. And then also, add a long run in on top of that eventually. So it would probably benefit you guys a lot and anybody who's running to run, a short distance 5 days a week, and then that fit time, slowly increase that. And then also slowly increase your other 4 days of the week as well. So I think that'd be very beneficial.
The fluffies need the fluffies.
Alrighty, let's do one more question because I think we're gonna get a storm coming in here soon. So
Nah, we're good.
I'll just do one more.
You can do as many as you want.
I know. I'm just gonna. That's how many more I want.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, well, actually, I'll do two
There
more
we
questions.
go.
Okay. What advice would
Gotta
you
get
give?
that watch time.
Yeah. What advice would you give somebody? Let me start that over. What advice would you give somebody who's trying to start off running or wants to get back into running?
As with weight training and anything in life, start small and then slowly increase. So that's very general advice. So how it applies to running, of course, it's a very numerical thing. You can pretty easily quantify it. So, find one thing we did in football for the start of the year, which was actually the preseason. So the preseason strength and conditioning, you did kind of a baseline. You figured out your level. So figure out your level with running, and then slowly increase. So you don't want to go in too deep right off the get go.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's how you get injured. Bad things happen. So you don't just run a half marathon if you haven't been running ever, or maybe took some time off of running for a year or two, or a prolonged period, maybe even a few months. You should kind of start a little bit farther back from that. So if you were let's address the people who are just starting running for the first time in their life. I actually recommend walking first, and actually it burns the same amount of calories over the same amount of distance. It just takes more time to do it, obviously. So there's a discrepancy there. But so start with walking. Really focus on the form and enjoy yourself, of course. And then what a lot of people do is Sarah aforementioned, I think that's how you pronounce that, was run walkers. So you, that is where
It's
you...
a four.
Huh?
It's aforementioned.
That's what I said.
You said afor. It's a four.
Okay. So you aforementioned...
It's 1.5 syllables, not 2.
Okay. If that's the thing. But anyways, so you basically have increments of walking and running. So you know more about this than I do, but I think it's a common one is 40 seconds, on of running and 20 seconds of walking. So that totals to about a minute. Then you do that 20 times. So that'd be 20 minutes. And that would be roughly, I would say, 1.5 miles you could cover in that amount of time.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends. I used to do the Couch to 5K a lot, and it's excellent if you're just trying to get into running.
There you go. That'll
It
supplement
slowly
you.
builds you up to be able to hopefully run a 5K. But yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, and 5K is a great goal to run total because it's a good amount of distance, but also you can carry some speed, and it's very sustainable. So that's what I would recommend for just starting running, having never run at all. Start small. Start with walking, then start with run, then go to run walking, and then proceed on to running. Thirdly, but also another some equipment you should have is and what you should invest in is shoes, which we didn't do at the start.
Well, to be fair,
when
I started, I had already hated running.
Yeah.
So my parents weren't quite convinced that it was going to be a long-term thing, and running shoes are expensive, so
Yeah,
they
that's
didn't want
true.
to slap $120 down on something I wasn't going to use. So to be fair, I used Mom's hand-me-down shoes, and they were terrible for my feet. And she was terribly embarrassed when we did go to get my first pair of actual running shoes. But to be fair for them, they didn't have any evidence beforehand that I would actually keep running. So that's the reason why I got the hand-me-downs to start with, is because like it's expensive to buy running shoes.
But so I highly recommend you get the best shoes you can afford. And
although to be fair, again, cost does not necessarily equal better quality. So get the ones that like go to a running store and have it tested on you, and find the ones you like the most.
Right, because the right ones for you might be $20 cheaper than more expensive ones. So yeah, that's another thing. With shoes, you want to get the right ones that fit you, and they'll help prevent injury and other things. So best shoes you can afford. Generally, they're going to be more expensive, so that's why I recommend. And it's also worth sacrificing some things you don't need to afford them. So you don't really need, some shoes maybe, but running shoes will impact your health. So they, I think, have a higher priority than fancy shoes that just are there to look good.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I recommend. Some things you don't need to spend a lot of money on. This is from a guy's perspective, and running outfits vary a little bit from gender to gender. But I don't think you need to spend a lot of money on shorts. Is that true for you think?
Yeah. I will say, cotton is not your friend. Yeah, don't try not to have cotton if you can help it. It's awful for running. Your chances of chafing increase exponentially.
I wear cotton shirts, but definitely not cotton underwear.
Shorts. Well, I have a cotton. We're not going to get into the underground.
Yeah,
but shorts, try not to have cotton.
No.
Or shorts
underwear.
are fine, but cotton shorts are terrible. But no, you don't really need to spend a whole lot of money on the clothes. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. They're not going to be taking the brunt of running.
That's true. Where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. And another thing I'd recommend, so that's kind of the clothing. Socks. Those are another thing that you don't need to go super expensive on, but
you don't want to get some crappy socks.
There's a lot of friction in your feet, so lower quality socks will wear out quicker. So while they may be the same kind of material, they'll wear out quicker. Maybe not as tight of a knit. So I'd recommend Balegas as they're a solid brand. They last a long time.
I've been running. Well, I used to run a lot, and like I've had a pair for 10 years. I'm only just now about to throw them out. And
yeah, so you would probably think that they of course cost more than cheaper socks of the same kind of function, but the cost I think will be offset by the time they last. So that's what I recommend for that. And let's see what else in the outfit.
That's gonna be about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered that. So all right, let's go to our last question.
Well, I was also thinking about some other things to help with running. So what you feed yourself, what you fuel yourself with, will make a big difference. So you want to eat before a run. I would highly recommend carbs. Carb loading is oftentimes what you hear about, joking before in a lot of movies before runs, but there's some truth to it. So good carbs that aren't really,
like oatmeal,
I don't know, like nothing highly processed, but oatmeal, grains, fruit, yeah, veggies, stuff like that, and also electrolytes. You're gonna be sweating a lot of those out in your salt and stuff, so you want to have electrolytes and a lot of water beforehand. I'd recommend at least a gallon of water, and maybe a 20-ounce Gatorade would be a healthy amount of fluids to take in. And let's see, I don't really do a whole lot with like the Body Glide. I guess I've never used it.
There is definitely a time and place for it.
Yeah.
We've not had much experience with it, but
No.
if you do experience a lot of chafing, it is
Yes,
helpful.
something to definitely look into. Okay, so I think that covers everything. Is there any other questions you would have?
I guess to round us out, what are some of your running goals from here on out?
That's a great question. It's always good to have goals with anything, something to shoot towards, something to focus on, and that really helps when you are experiencing tough times where everything's just kind of sucky, nothing's really clicking, it's all just kind of boom, it's not really coming together, something to focus on. So my goals, always, the Peachtree, like I said, is a staple. So that's always my goal. I always want to run faster than I did last year. I like to compete against myself. So I would like to have a 44:59, just under 45 minutes, which is a little aggressive because there's a thing known as the law of diminishing returns and everything, and it applies to running as well. So the more you train, the harder it is to get those big drop-offs.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Like, one thing you'll find is, like, when you get under, let's say, you've been training for a 10K, like, you get under an hour, and then I found that you can pretty easily drop from an hour, 59 minutes, let's say, to 54 minutes. Now, 5 minutes is a big chunk of time, when you get farther down, so you don't just go from 45 minutes to 40 minutes that quickly, which sucks, but that's just how it is. So, I think 45...
I don't know what he's talking about. I trained for years and I just kept getting slower, so...
Well, yeah.
This whole... from an hour to 55 minutes.
But for me, like I was saying, for me.
Okay.
But
Because I
like,
kept
some
going
people
slower.
can see that, but yeah. But really, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But that's my goal, and that's just something to be aware of,
Yeah.
So 45:39 is my last time, I believe. So 40 seconds is pretty aggressive at this point for me. So I would like to be able to hit a 44:59. Then after that, I know I said I compete against myself, but I want to beat my dad's best time so he can get off of me. Because every time I run, he's like, I ran this amount of time. I also weightlift, so part of me just wants to like quit for a year of weightlifting and just drop like 40 pounds, which I could do and still be relatively healthy. And just like run like 45 miles a week and then smoke his time, and then he would have nothing to say after that. But it would also be cool if I did that while weightlifting.
You would hate it.
I would hate it, absolutely. Because I love running, but I also like being a bro in the gym. I like being a gym rat.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, it would be way more impressive anyway if you said you beat him while also weightlifting. So.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to gain weight while weightlifting, obviously, for obvious reasons. So, so that's my goal with that. Another goal I'd have, I would love to run a sub 20-minute 5K. That'd be really cool. I'm really close to being able to do that, and that would also be my best time as well as my dad's best time, which his was a 20-minute 20-second. So I would like to be able to take that as well. Any other goals? I can't. Oh yeah, big goal. I want my training total. I guess you could include a race as well. But I want my training total for a year to be over 600 miles, and I'm very confident I'm going to hit that. Then after that, I would like to be able to run over 1,000 miles in a year. So those are my training goals.
Wow, very cool.
My yearly total goals for mileage.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, the more you run, the faster you get. So I think that's a sensible goal.
Well, thanks, Joe, for chatting with us.
My
about
pleasure.
running.
I enjoyed it for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, if you have any comments about your running
Yeah, drop them down below.
or questions about our running experience, let us know down below. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Yeah, I think that's it for this week.
Hitting or smashing the subscribe button.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, I think so. And then
make sure you have the bell hit for notifications. I never thought I'd be saying this, but here I am.
I know. I always forget because
yeah.
If they're gonna like, they're gonna like. If they're gonna subscribe, they're gonna subscribe. It's
they know it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know how to work YouTube.
Yeah. It's been around 2 years. I'm joking. 3 years, obviously.
Are you a child?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, what was I saying?
What were you saying?
Yeah, and that's going to be it for us this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Catch us next week as we cover whatever topic it is he's going to chat with me about.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to give that some thought.
Yeah.
So
maybe he'll come up with it before 30 minutes before the episode is filmed.
Maybe. It was a surprise to her just as much as me.
Yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it. We're so glad we could hang out with you guys. And until next week, we hope you have a very good day. Bye.
See ya.